comes to the riots that took place in the Capitol, well, essentially yesterday the committee met during the prime time and televised it to ensure that it was able to get as much attention as many people to see what happened on January 6th, as this was at the time where you saw the violent insurrection of Capitol Hill by the people that actually rushed the Capitol Hill were Donald Trump supporters, and essentially this committee is there to now reveal all the testimony, all the interviews that took place. And essentially the attack was during the time when President Joe Biden was supposed to be sworn in, and the ceremony and the attacks happened at that time to prevent it, as the theory was by President Trump that the election was stolen from him. So this made-for-TV hearing the committee has put together will go through video and testimony of police officers who were brutally beaten during that time, and a lot of the violence that was never seen before. And essentially it's going to reveal Trump's role in how it incited the violence, and that it was based on the conspiracy and that it wasn't just a random incident. The committee has conducted 1,000 interviews with people and has collected 140,000 documents that it will reveal during this hearing. And this is also where lawmakers who were in the building at the time of the siege were also there to give testimony. Take a look. We have Benny Thompson. He's the chairman of the House Committee when he announces what will take place in these hearings that will take place in the next month.
Committee in recess at any point. Pursuant to House Deposition Authority Regulation 10, the chair announces the committee's approval to release the deposition material presented during tonight's hearing. Donald Trump had his days in court to challenge the results. He was within his rights to seek those judgments. In the United States, law-abiding citizens have those tools for pursuing justice. He lost in the courts, just as he did at the ballot box. And in this country, that's the end of the line. But for Donald Trump, that was only the beginning of what became a sprawling, multi-step conspiracy aimed at overturning the presidential election, aimed at throwing out the votes of millions of Americans, your votes, your voice in our democracy, and replacing the will of the American people with his will to remain in power after his term ended. Donald Trump was at the center of this conspiracy, and ultimately, Donald Trump, the President of the United States, spurred a mob of domestic enemies of the Constitution to march down the Capitol and subvert American democracy. Any legal jargon you hear about seditious conspiracy, obstruction of an official proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States boils down to this: January 6th was the culmination of an attempted coup, a brazen attempt, as one rioter put it shortly after January 6th, to overthrow the government. The violence was no accident. It represented Trump's last stand, most desperate chance to halt the transfer of power. Now, you may hear those words and think, this is just another political attack on Donald Trump by people who don't like him. That's not the case. My colleagues and I all wanted an outside independent commission to investigate January 6th, similar to what we had after 9/11. But after first agreeing to the idea, Donald Trump's allies in Congress put a stop to it. Apparently, they don't want January 6th investigated at all. And in the last 17 months, many of those same people have tried to whitewash what happened on January 6th, to rewrite history, call it a tourist visit, label it legitimate political discourse. Donald Trump and his followers have adopted the words of the songwriter, "Do you believe me, or your lying eyes. We can't sweep what happened under the rug. The American people deserve answers. So I come before you this evening, not as a Democrat, but as an American who swore an oath to defend the Constitution. The Constitution doesn't protect just Democrats or just Republicans. It protects all of us, we the people. And this scheme was an attempt to undermine the will of the people. So tonight, and over the next few weeks, we're going to remind you of the reality of what happened that day. But our work must do much more than just look backwards. Because of our democracy remains in danger, the conspiracy to thwart the will of the people is not over. There are those in this audience who thirst for power but have no love or respect for what makes America great: devotion to the Constitution, allegiance to the rule of law, our shared journey to build a more perfect union. January 6th and the lies that led to insurrection have put 2.5 centuries of constitutional democracy at risk. The world is watching what we do here. America has long been expected to be a shining city on the hill, a beacon of hope and freedom, a model for others when we are at our best.
There you have it. That was about the January 6th Capitol Hill riots that took place, and that's the committee that will go through all the evidence in the coming month. And it's going to be live streamed for as many viewers to remember that day and to know what the final judgment will be.